You know, in our days, if you get pregnant, it's almost like you just disappear. Don't even bother coming home. That was our parents. Do you understand?
When you play with your children, it's a way of entering their own world. Because when you enter their world, you'll be able to communicate with them.
There's so many influencers out there that I'm wondering that are these the role models for our children?
Jobs are always lost. Let's use the car for example. When the cars came out, the horses
were rendered useless.
Useless. Those pushing it were rendered useless.
Most teachers that understand AI and then the school where it's restrictive, they're jumping ship. Nobody wants to be doing somebody wants to be like burning the candlelight just to write lesson notes anymore.
To me, that's the sum of it. Having a safe space, because most of all those people thrive on lonely people, and loneliness has different levels.
Welcome to the debut edition of the Wise and Harmless Podcast, hosted by the Lekki Palm Tree Foundation. Lekki Palm Tree Foundation is a non-profit organization focused on child online protection, working with children, parents, and educators to promote safe digital practices, while also advocating for the inclusion of excluded children in the digital space so they can benefit from it safely. So, Wise and Harmless. As the digital world continues to evolve, one question keeps coming up: how do we keep our children safe online? Every year, the second Tuesday in February is marked globally as Safer Internet Day, a reminder to reflect on the risks children face online and the role we play in protecting them. Today, we are focusing on Nigerian and African children and the realities they navigate daily in digital spaces. That's why our conversation today is titled AI Technology and the Best Interests of the Child. It's a timely conversation, especially as technology and now artificial intelligence continues to evolve faster than many parents and schools can keep up with. Our hope is that this discussion offers practical insight for families, educators, and communities. Today I'm joined by voices that bring both experience and perspective. First is the amazing Mrs. Funke Akinrinmade, an educator and a parent. She's the founder and executive director of Cedarwood School for Harcourt and Cassia School, Lekki. With over 20 years of experience in education, particularly in early years learning and teacher development. Many also know her as Mrs. A, the educator. It's so great to have you here with us, Ma. Also joining us today is the amazing Mrs. Ginika Nwobodo, a parent, a travel blogger, and a mother of 4. She has raised Gen Z children, and she strongly advocates for outdoor play and its benefits while running a toy store alongside. She'll bring first-hand insight into the realities children face in today's digital world, and we are glad to have you here with us, Ma, also. This is going to be an interactive and reflective conversation. So if you're a parent and educator or someone who works with children, please stay with us. Let us begin. And also, before I continue, I will admonish you to like, subscribe, and share this particular episode with everyone around you, because this is definitely going to change a lot in the way you see things, especially about your child and your child's relation to the internet today. Thank you so much, Mrs. Funke, for honoring our invite. Thank you so much, Mrs. Ginika. We are so excited to have you here. I really cannot wait to get into the conversation proper, where you get to unpack those things I know you have in store for us. Okay, so my first question would be, but before I actually get into that, I would like to give a backstory so you know where I'm coming from. So I got my first phone at the age of 9. It was given to me by my cousin. It was a hand-me-down, and it was a button phone, for context. So my parent did not know that it had the capabilities it had. The things I did with that phone, till today, they don't know. So I opened a to-go account. I positioned myself as an 18-year-old. So I got to interact with much older men, 24. I remember a 27-year-old man. And I'm grateful that that phone got spoiled on time. If it lasted longer than it did, I definitely would have delved into things that I shouldn't have delved into. And then I got my own actual phone at 13. It was a proper smartphone. And my parents were always doing the, oh, you did not do this, give us your phone, we're using your phone. So it was quite supervised. But I would not say they really knew like the content of the things I did with the phone. But then I had more values like inculcated in me. So I knew that this was quite right and this was quite wrong, but not fully. I was still unpacking. And I would say it was advantageous to me because I grew up to be someone who became quite savvy with the phone, with tech. And then what I do today, it's not just subtly. In fact, it's heavily really part of what I do today. So I would say that that's like the advantage of having a smartphone. So my own question now is, I know you have kids. I know you have kids who have gone out there to be great people. They've attended top tier universities. I also know you have growing kids. I would like to know what measures you are still taking and what measures you took to raise your kids in an era where, you know, the phone can be the other way, like I said, and the phone can be advantageous. Not just the phone, everything that is, in fact, gadgets are being released daily. Like daily, we see new things. What does this one do? Wow. Like it's like technology is just going haywire. People will just produce things. They don't care about the downsides. They just want to make profits. So how did you manage that? I would like to start with Mrs. Funke. Then I'll lead it to you, Ma.
Thank you for sharing your story and thank you for having us here. I actually like that it ended well. At least you said it gave you the leverage for what you're doing. And that's what I would say about technology. Honestly, there's a good and there's a bad. And once we know the balance as parents, right? Yeah. So for me, growing up with my children, I think it started with the values in the house. So what are our core values? What do we believe in as a family? Yeah. So responsibility, education, taking ownership and, having those conversations with the children in the sense that, let me talk about my first son. My first son is 27, going on 28. Okay. So, phones were not that popular in this time. But I believe the principles are the same, right? My last is 21. Because we have an atmosphere where we can share. And so we talk about what phones or what technology can help us achieve. And like I said, they're the good sides. Yeah. And then we'll talk about the downsides of having phones or technology. Because for every good, there's a bad. Definitely. And you can't throw away the baby and the bathwater, right? So, so it's in having those conversations that you would make your children understand the good and the bad. In your story, you had said how because there were values that were instilled in you, you were able to even though you went off track a bit, but you were able to rein yourself back because there was a grounding. And I think that's a good thing. And for me, parenting has shifted from our time. Your parents obviously trusted you. They believed they had done a good job. They believed that you would not go, do you understand? Yeah. And that was how we were raised, right? Our parents trusted us and believed that we knew what we're doing. But in this era, where technology has overtaken the world, we have to take a step further, more than trusting, to conversation, to opening a space where the children are able to ask and you're able to give them justifiable reasons why you're saying no. So if your parents had said no to you about a phone, you should be able to question it and you should be able to respond in a way that meets your own satisfaction. And as parents too, we should be able to educate ourselves, to understand that the world is evolving, even though we didn't grow up in the AI world. But how is this enhancing the functionality of our children and giving them the right platform to thrive? So my children, I think that the grounding that we give them that leverage to understand that phones are tools and not way of life. So then they didn't become addicted to technology. Rather, they use that as tools to step up and, exactly enhance their growing up and their lifestyles.
Wow, thank you so much. That was really insightful. So I'll be leading from what she said, but I would like to add something to your question. I will not say a little Betty told me, but I got to know that your husband engages your kids with video games. So I would like you to talk from the perspective she spoke in your own perspective and then talk about the video game thing. Like, how did it go? Because I know we women, we are solidly against video games. So how did it really go?
Okay, the funny thing is that my husband they actually grow with games, so he doesn't even understand games.
Oh,
But we've always believed in bonding with our children, and I advocate for children playing. So play could be any form. But
yeah.
I believe that that's their language, and when you play with your children, it's a way of entering their own world. Because when you enter their world, you'll be able to communicate with them. You understand.
Things are simplified.
Yes, things are simplified. You understand what they're thinking, how they're thinking, and what really interests them. And when you are also playing with them, they're free. So it's like there's no hierarchy. This is not my father, this is not my mother.
Yeah.
We're challenging ourselves, and so it gives a
Level ground.
ground for them to communicate with you. So when we understood this, he had to get into that world and understand what's going on. So he now ended up having to be playing the games with them because that's where he gets them to communicate with him better. So it's not just video games alone that we actually, or he does with them. We do a lot of board games, puzzles, and stuff like that with our children.
Okay.
So, but when it comes to the video games, they tend to have like the very extreme ones. So we try to avoid those ones, even though they'll still insist like their friends do that. And so
Like the
it's-
aggressive games.
yes,
Okay.
it's more it's a period for us to teach them more and make them understand these are the reasons why we can't really allow this.
Yeah.
But they also do more
Okay.
football because my boys love footballs, my husband loves football. So like I said, that's the major of the games they do.
Okay, I know video games. Okay, so I would like to draw something out of what you said, but also ask a question to further buttress or get me to understand how you were able to manage it. So statistics actually showed that kids who like grow up playing video games, it helps their cognitive skills, right? But still, it has its downside. I would like to know how you were able to actually manage video games. Like, possibly, did you set boundaries? You mentioned a boundary, which is not allowing them play aggressive games and all of that stuff. But you didn't talk about timing
Okay.
in relation to their growth.
So, first of all, most of all these games, they have age appropriate for them.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, like she said, value system. I think when we build on values for most things we do, or you have your values, you actually guide most things you do. So you apply it to every other thing. It's
Okay.
not just the home, even you as a person, how you relate with things that you need to do. So when it comes to the games, we focus on academics. They are still growing children, so academics matters, whether we like it or not. Although the new world is showing us that you can be anything without
We're coming there.
so us in our generation, we know that academics
Matter.
so we make them understand that this is school time is school time, then time for the holidays they can have their games, but still it's not that you're playing games the whole day because we expect them to do things as human beings. They have their chores, they have other responsibilities they have to fulfill, so you can't wake up in the morning and you're playing games the whole day. So when I talk about responsibilities, a lot of things my children do, like they have to clean the house.
Yeah, chores.
They have to. So you can't be playing game and sort those things out. So there has to be timing. But when it's school time, no game is out.
At all.
It's never out. So they get a bit of screen time during the weekends. But
Okay.
it's still not the whole.
They don't get screen time at all during the week.
Not really. And will I say, fortunately, unfortunately, after COVID, the screens entered our homes very well. So you really can't do without screen time now
Yeah.
during the school hours because most of their homeworks are online. They have to research something.
True.
Somehow they have to be on the screen. So I can't really say that there's no screen time during the week. It's there. It's now with us. Their schoolwork
Yeah.
goes through some of them are even submitted online. Some of them are even put online for them to check.
Access.
So they have to access it through
The
the school
internet.
portals and stuff. So that's what they use the screen for during the week. Then weekends, they do like 2-3 hours a day. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really, internet and everything that comes with it has really come to stay. and we just have to adapt. Okay, so I'm going to draw from what you said, and this question is still for both of you. So you mentioned that during your time you believed strongly that education was the only way, and then for my own generation, I think we still believed that education was the only way, but we were now trying to see other ways. But now you see this generation, they believe that education is not even the way. Like, why am I going to school when somebody like a certain influencer who is around my age is making millions on TikTok just by live streaming? I would say, okay, I'm going to come back, right? Somebody on the internet is making millions just by screaming, like my video, or gift me. There are a lot of oh god, I don't want to go there, but there are a lot of shallow ways to make money with ease, and they see it as if I can make money this way, why then am I going to school? Why then is my mom and my dad saying that I know I have to be educated to be something in life when I can clearly see success? Like their definition of success is now tied to money. And then this society, we can all see that the society is really, really deteriorating. So now this is for parents, caregivers, and people who have kids around or people who take care of kids. This is for them. Like, I want to know your take, what you think, what you really, really think about this particular detrimental to the society. Like, I'm talking about it and it's quite breaking my heart, right? I don't know how to properly phrase it, but I think what I want to say is, what do you have to say to those people watching? How can they manage things when their child is saying, oh, mommy, I don't think I have to go to school to make it. Oh, mommy, look at this particular person. Is big out there. She's big out there. The world knows her name and she's not even educated. In fact, she dropped out. How do you think they can still keep the student on the right track while getting them exposed to the internet? Because if they don't see these things on the internet, they won't have those things in their hearts. They won't have those notions that education is not the only way. Education, in fact, is not even the way to make it in life. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you do. You are making sense. And honestly, for me, as a parent and as an educator, the first thing I would ask a child is, show me an influencer, maybe a successful one. Show me his character. Show me his track record. Because education is beyond maths and English. There are skills that you learn, right? So you make money. How do you balance your money? How do you spend your money? Accounting is a big deal, right? Business management is a big deal. So even when you have that money, if you don't have the skill sets to manage the money, they say money is like
water.
No, they said it grows wings and it can fly.
Oh yeah.
And
it's that.
People that make quick money, if you study them very well, they don't know how to steward the money because they didn't work for the money. So somebody who's on internet and saying, follow me, give me. Is that the kind of person you want to be? So it goes back to the value as well. So when you sit with your child and ask, what values do you expect to exhibit in society? How do you want to be addressed? What do you want to contribute to the society? This internet or this technology we are enjoying, somebody somewhere,
someone intelligent,
exactly, dreamt it up, and made it happen. So what's your own contribution to the world? Money is everything. I mean, money is everything in our society, but money is not everything. And that has to come from us, the parents, and the educators as well, to ensure that the children understand the value of education. I love Nelson Mandela's quote that says that education is the greatest weapon in which we can use to
fight poverty,
change the nation.
Oh, why did I think of poverty?
Exactly, change the nation. And if you're not educated, there's no way that you'll not make a fool of yourself or make a mess of your life. Because it's not about the maths and English. It's about the skill set. It's about the values. It's about character. These are part of what you're not going to school. Even it's not about social behavior. So you understand how to relate with other people. Yeah. You understand networking better. You show up better. There's so many influencers out there that I'm wondering that are these the role models for our children? And that's for me in schools. That's why I ask my children in the classroom, show me a role model. Let's unpack this role model. what exactly is he influencing you about? What exactly are you getting from that person that adds to your life? And if there's nothing, then you want to be that person that has made the money but has a character and has a value that people can follow, and you can then be a positive influencer. So education still matters any day, anytime. Yes, it lays the foundation for every other thing.
And I agree with you with the education, where you also said that education is really not about maths and English. Because even when you look at someone that is educated, my husband will always say, like when we complain about the ad hoc staff, I don't know if I use the right word, like the cleaners, the drivers, and he'll be like,
What do you expect?
you look at, you went to primary school and you think that, okay, all of us are decent, our primary schools are rubbish, our secondary schools are rubbish, university is rubbish, but you don't know what you get in each stage that gives you apart. So it's not just the maths and English character. She said that. So there's a whole lot you build from an education system that you can't get from just money. And that's where you also define success. What is success? Is it about the bank account or the rough behaviors?
Yeah.
We see the supposedly influencers, the way they dress, the way they run traffic, like that one frustrates me. An educated person will not run.
They're brazen.
Yeah. The way they are so loud. So what is really success? What is education? So there's a whole lot that comes from one, being educated, because there are things you get from them. Discipline is another thing.
Yeah.
One example I use for my children, like when you said if those things that they're watching, the person that created it, I always use for my son. He likes this game, Roblox. And I always tell him, Jidechi, if you're spending the whole day watching Roblox, you wouldn't be able to create your own Roblox. You need discipline. You need to create your life. You need to create that thing you want. And if you're sitting down as a lazy man watching this the whole day, you will not be able to create that. And even they are, as I said before, they like football. Some of all those skills, they also have a level of education. Those guys are actually being taught why they are playing football. So it's not only the training that they go through. Yes, they teach them. So I always let them know that that's a level of success. So those people are also being educated in their own form. You see the way people behave after the money comes, how there's always a difference with one that is really educated and one that just hits that.
Education is different.
Yes, it's always different. How she talked about how they manage when the money comes. Will it fly away? Is it the private jet, the yacht, the parties, the drinks? There are people that go the route of investing, because even when you're educated and process of education, you get to know that you would I say you attach yourself to people that you will learn from. Mentors, financial mentors, those that will help you grow the money and continue. But some people don't get that.
Have your money work for you.
Because we know about some of the streamers that just hit the money and all they do is just
buy cars.
Follow. Buy cars and all that. And give it, it's not in this generation. It has always been like that. Give it few years, it's gone again. Because they didn't manage it. They weren't educated. They were just money. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I also like to add to that the education and the institution we get educated contributes greatly to who we are, right? In the sense that the people you meet while you are in certain institutions, be it primary, secondary, they shape how we think as people than the people you meet outside the sphere of outside the academic area. Like, we get different values from the people we meet. I mean, the like-minded people that we are chasing the same thing. Oh, we are studying this course together. There are certain things that we are equally exposed to that we tend to like rub minds together, and then from there we are becoming the better versions of ourselves than those who just socialize. Oh, they go to parties, they meet people, they think they are just networking, but those people are greatly influencing who they become. So the next question I would like to ask is a bit global. I would like to know your take on digital devices being exposed to people who are underage. I mean, children below the age of 16, because I feel in some countries, I think in some countries, the legal age has been reduced to 16 and not 18. So I would like to use 16 as the benchmark. So, do you think that the way other countries are adapting, restricting children from using social media and other devices that might expose them to these harmful things we are talking about, do you think Nigeria as a country should adapt that?
That's quite an interesting question.
Okay.
Oh, first of all, let me just say that whatever we do, right, we must have the why.
Okay.
So we can't copy and paste from other countries. I know a country that bans social media for the sake of the government. So they're trying to keep the information within the country.
I know that country.
So that's unfair because the world, like you said, the world is global
Yeah.
and people are moving ahead. And so they want to keep their people still locked up, right? Coming back to Nigeria, before we can even say what should Nigeria do, I think that we're just sharing before we came on air about how when we're growing up, the value system was the same from one home to another. You cannot go to one house and be discussing, everybody was speaking the same language. Integrity, responsibility, truth was the same thing, hard work, right? But things have shifted now. I can be bringing up my children with high moral standard, and the next person is saying, no, it's too high. Your friend's mom is too wicked. So you can't compare apple for apple anymore, right?
Yeah.
And so as a country, before we can even go to the place of banning or having a holistic approach to this,
Yeah.
it has to go back to the home values. The family make up a country, make up the society. Society is a country, right? So when we come back home, where every home, is able to speak truthfully and understand that our makeup is what we're projecting as a country or
Yeah.
as a nation. And we're raising our children, or we're speaking, even fathers, our fathers' role models, our mothers' role models. I mean, you see homes where, I know my son, sometimes they would laugh and say, this home is one of the few homes we know that is not cheating.
Yeah.
It should even be something that was unheard of during our time. Even if it was happening during our father's time, it's an unspoken taboo. But right now, fathers have girlfriends and children are aware. Mothers are flaunting their BBL or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And girls are aware. So we have to fix the home first before we can go out and say, let's ban it. I think that, like I kept saying that, I've said before, we cannot throw away the baby and the bathwater.
Yeah.
Nigeria is still being referred to as a third world country.
Till
But
now.
technology has enhanced a lot of growth for other countries. And we have to leverage it as a country. We can't ban it because it's going to keep us in the dark. What we need to do is regulate it. But we cannot regulate it as a nation. I think charity has to start at home. If I have a 16-year-old, I need to be able to have a conversation with my 16-year-old around having smartphones or tablets or whatever. And then have a discussion about what exactly are you doing with it. And I must be able to see the results. So you can't tell me that, I'm just online doing my work. Can we discuss about your research? Can you educate me as your mother that don't know a lot about technology? Do you understand? So once we're able to fix a home, I think then it can cascade to the wider society.
Yeah.
That'll be my take.
That's really great. Thank you so much, Ma. You also wanted to say something.
Totally agree with what she said. As she said, we already had this conversation outside, and we just came to the conclusion is the family. The family is just the foundation of the home. So everything you see in the society is what's coming out from the home. That person that is siphoning fuel at the gas station, that person jumping the queue in the hospital because of, do you know who I am? That person that, as she said, the BBL and all that we see that is just so rampant, is from the home. It's the values that has been instilled in them, and they believe that it's okay. So before we start talking about the phone, I think we have more issues to deal with as a country, and it really starts from the home. Because that person that is heading the university, that person that is heading the local government, that road that is bad that nobody's agreeing to face is from the home. I talk about this a lot of times that I don't think many years ago, if my husband is coming back with money I don't know about, we can't account for, I can't question him. But right now, your husband is just a staff, a normal staff in an office. And when people are traveling, you fly business class. We are affording foreign trips. We are driving Mercedes, and you know that, and you can't question him. My husband is a governor. and I'm seeing that the citizens are complaining. I can't ask him. My mother cannot question me, the daughter. Oh, see, oh, that hospital you work in. Why are we hearing stories that the incubator is not working, that people are using fake drip? We can't really question ourselves again because everybody's so enticed with money, enticed with power. Like, it wasn't like that before. Like she said, we could question our neighbors. It's been redefined. So what we believed in, it's no more in the system again.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to run over the next person with what he or she has.
A dog eats dog world.
Yeah, so it's not really about phone. I think it's like the list of our problems. So I think our values is what we need to question because it's totally redefined. We like it's really brash on our faces. Someone is siphoning money. I don't even know.
Okay.
And it's okay. And they don't care. Like I'm going to do it. And when the parents are doing, the children are also doing
It's
it.
a template.
It's a template. So their friends can't even question them because the friends are also waiting for their own opportunity to be like them, to be in that position. So it's the values. That's where we need to start from, the values, the morals, not the phone. As she said, the phone has a lot of good. The bad is staring at our faces, but the good is also there. I like the way I'm able to call my brother, my grandmother, anybody. And
Because to send letters.
Yes, because then we'll send letters. Then I went to boarding school. When I send letter, before the problem I was sending my mother it has expired. I've even forgotten. So, but right now you just need to pick up the phone. So there's a lot of good. But when we educate our children, when we come to our homes and educate them, and the education starts from our values, what we believe as a family. They bring their thoughts, we bring our thoughts. We all rub in and understand this is why and this is why. When the child grows, or if every family is doing that, that's the same thing the school owner is going to take to her school. That's the foundation she's going to put in her school. And the parents will also have their own understanding and know this is why this school has this foundation. Me, the principal, me, the lecturer, will come to my university and know that my students also come from a home that is speaking the same language, and we speak the same language. Me, the governor, all the parastatals, all of us do that. This is what I stand for. So when you are doing those funny things in your office and putting money in brown envelope and all that, it's not going to stand here. And knowing that most of the voices are speaking to that, then we have it right. So banning it's not
the solution.
It's not near us. It's not the right thing. It's not, yeah.
Thank you so much, ma. I even delved into other topics, and I really like the way this conversation is going. And I would like to pick something you said earlier, not now. You mentioned that your kids use the internet. They have assignments uploaded on the school portal and all of that. So this is me driving it back to you, ma. You're an educator. You have 2 schools. I would like to know, widely as a nation, Nigeria, is Nigeria really using these tools that are now available for easy life?
Can you take it again? What do you mean by easy life?
Okay, now let me paint a scenario. Lesson notes in the past were handwritten, stressful. You see teachers taking time to write lesson notes. They might write it for weeks and then they don't get it delivered on time. Scheme of work is quite broad. Some of them are not even like properly structured for the child's need. But now we have AI that can even help you write a full project on university level. Like, do you think Nigeria as a country in the area of education is really, secondary school, primary school education is really using these tools the way it should? Yeah.
Very good question. I think I'm one of those people. Amongst educators, we talk about this AI, ChatGPT, whether we should do it or shouldn't, whether we should allow our teachers use it or not. I always joke that Nigerians are the only ones that, you're in labor and your child is not coming out, and they're like, let's take epidural. And like, no, I don't want epidural.
I want to do it
I want to do it naturally, because we believe that if it's not hard work, we have not worked. We have to be thinking smart. I think AI has come to enhance and help
our lives.
Yes, and I don't have a problem with it. I think what it does is that it reduces the learning curve, exactly, and the workload for the staff. So imagine lesson notes, like you said, can take hours. And writing lesson notes, you have to do research, you have to
Yeah.
different topics. But if you're able to refine your questions and put it through to ChatGPT and be specific, I'm teaching year 5, ages 9 to 10, science on evaporation. Can you share step by step practical lesson plan that can help me deliver my lesson? In 2 seconds, in a minute, he gives it to you. Now, when he gives it to you, it's not for you to just take it like a sinker. It's for you to look at it and say, does this meet my audience's, my students' needs? Exactly. Do I have everything as recommended? Sometimes I say to my teachers, go to the extent of saying that you are based in Nigeria and this is the curriculum you're running.
Localize it.
Exactly. So that it gives you exactly what you want. But then what it has given you, you then have to take it, own it, and then deploy it. So you can tweak things around to suit your learners' needs. But to say that we must go the hard way, I'm not for that. And I believe a lot of schools are beginning to see that it's making the work lighter and easier for their staff. Most teachers that understand AI and then a school where it's restrictive, they're jumping ship. Nobody wants to be doing, somebody wants to be like burning the candlelight just to write lesson notes anymore. In fact, there's this school of thought amongst teachers now to say that why must we write lesson notes? Because, but my stand is that if you plan to, if you don't plan, then you are going to fail because you can't go into a place not prepared. You have to prepare your lesson plan.
You're planning to fail.
Exactly. It allows you to align your thoughts, your processes and everything. So I think that most schools are beginning to adapt it. And I believe that even the government schools are trying. A lot of schools, a lot of government.
That's where I was going to.
Yes, a lot of government schools now, they're seeing that the private schools are going very far and
they're still behind.
Yes, and they're still behind. And most schools, especially for states where they have the funds and have governors who want to make a difference, they're actually pumping money into education. Now, the question is, are they training their staff?
To use them properly.
Load all your classroom with computers and laptops, but the staff trained to handle it.
Can they use beyond Excel?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I think it's a good thing to allow our teachers to use it because it's going to help. Yes, and close the gap between us and the
Gen Alphas. The rest of the world.
I'm one of those people that I'm a Nigerian coming out of this taboo.
Honestly, third world country, developing country.
Exactly. What are we developing?
It's been a while.
When we have all the brain boxes in Nigeria, have you seen how our kids do when they go abroad?
Excellently well.
Exactly. So we do have potentials. We just need to give them the platform.
So spread your wings and fly.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Ma. That same question, but I would like to frame it this way. So you mentioned earlier, which was what brought us here, right? So I want to know if during the formative years of your kids and now, you notice changes in how well they assimilate things or how well their learning curve, how it changed. Did it move from it was this way, it's now this way. So now I'm going to give you the subject matter, which is AI. Did you see AI influencing them in a good way or a bad way? In terms of assimilating and doing all the things they need to do to excel.
Assimilating, but I think I would say AI made it, as she said, easier.
Okay.
So you still need to always remind them to try and read for understanding because AI just sorts the problem immediately. So I give it to schools that still emphasize show the process and stuff like that. Because it just churns out everything. And it's I say it's a bit scary because I won't really say that they are getting to think much now. Even though it
cuts the thinking process.
Yes, it cuts the thinking process. So will I use the word thinking or creative or whatever? So they're not really doing that job again. AI is doing everything. So I question, are they really understanding? Can they really practicalize what the AI is giving them, or they're just churning it out
back and dump it?
So I would say it helped them for them because they don't really want to do the work, right? Schoolwork, so they just want to churn it out. Yeah.
They just want to graduate.
So I think before it was easier.
Before it was
they needed to do the work. Yeah, the way we did.
And you prefer the work?
Yes, I prefer the work because I think right now 1, 2, 3 they are done and.
So let me jump in. I understand how, I mean, it's making it easier for students, but the work is now on the teachers, right? So if a child produces an outstanding piece of work for me, I know that AI has helped you to deliver, you're going to have to challenge, defend it.
Mhm.
So it's in the questioning method. So that would test your understanding because you can't really cram what AI has given you.
Mm.
And if you have not understood it, if you have not embraced it, and for me, I always tell teachers that when you're teaching your students, I believe that knowledge is applicable. So it's applied knowledge, right? So if I've learned something, if you say when I turn off this, switch on this wherever lights will come on. So there's a process of how does power even get into the switch in the first place. So you can put it in AI, but if you're not able to explain it to me, then there's a problem with that. So teachers, and that's why you even see with lecturers, I mean universities, when they're writing their thesis, they will say they're not allowed to use AI.
Yeah.
So if you're not disciplined from secondary
You can't
to
cite.
understand that if you cheat by using AI to do your homework and you cannot justify or back up your answers, then there's a problem because you're going to go to school. After a while, you know that you don't have anything. You're empty because you've relied on AI.
Yeah.
So the work is on the teacher to ensure that when a child produces any homework or any research work that has been done by AI, to go a step further by digging more and putting that child on the spot to explain and to own the answers. So then you know that, okay, you have to do more work.
But this your response also brings to mind what the conversation I had with my daughter this week. She was telling me about one of her subject teachers.
Okay.
She was like, that teacher doesn't really know what she's teaching. That she's the only one that doesn't understand her subject. There are other teachers you see that they actually researched, that she has stumbled on one of them reading the topic, really understanding, and then even when they ask questions, it showed that so I think it's a two-way thing, both the student and the teachers.
Absolutely.
Because even when the teachers churn out the whole, even though it's their thinking, their framework and all that, AI makes it better, they still need to dig deep.
Yes.
Because the children know.
Yes.
My daughter she's
Exactly.
really frustrated with that
Yes.
teacher. She's like, why do I keep going for these classes? Because she doesn't know. And at times she will now tell us, go and read it up. Go and put ChatGPT to. She's like,
So that teacher is
why am I going to school?
lazy.
She's like, why am I going to
Yes.
school? And she's so impressed with those ones that are taking their time.
Oh wow.
And she's doing just first subject because she's in her A levels now. So it's a two-way thing.
So my next question is what I don't know, you might have seen on the internet. If you use X very well, you will see that people are talking about AI taking the jobs of people. I mean, AI rendering people jobless and by just in the society. I would like to know your take on that based on your experience with AI so far.
I think with every generation, there's something that always comes out, right? And definitely will take jobs and it will also create jobs. It's all about that unique selling points you have
Yeah.
and what you have to give to the system. So the jobs are always lost. Like I said let's use the car for example. When the cars came out, the horses
Rendered useless.
were rendered useless. Those pushing it were rendered useless. But the world evolved. So that's how it is for every season of a new product. Jobs will be lost, but jobs will also be created. I believe in just being unique and taking advantage also of the AI to build upon what you already do, be better in it, and find ways to add it to your own unique selling points.
Yeah.
So that's my take for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funke, you wanted to say something?
And to keep upscaling. Do you understand? I
Yeah.
think education is something that is constant. You can't. That's why I said education is very important. So you have to keep upscaling. You have to keep reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
Like she said, AI will take jobs, but it also creates jobs. So you can't sit and say, "Oh, I was the best." That's still
It was.
exactly. Once you are the best at something today, what's your next step for tomorrow? Because somebody else is, creating something else. So as long as you have values to sell, people would always buy. So just make sure that you are marketable at every point in time.
Yeah, products. You're marketable. I like that. I really like both perspectives. So my not so final question would be, you've had cases where, I don't know if you have, but I have had cases, subtly in the middle of this case study of situations where young girls get into relationships with people they meet online. It's more of girls actually. They get into relationship with people they meet online, and then the intimacy is virtual, and they send compromising things to them, and then they use the other person uses this to threaten them into giving them money, into making them do things that will deteriorate the society more. Like, imagine a guy asking a girl to bring 20,000 naira. Meanwhile, her pocket money is maybe 500 naira. She definitely will start stealing to get it done. And then this is the downside of the internet, which we say is quite advantageous. What's your take? Like, what's your take on it?
So I believe, like we said, so AI is good, technology is good, right? But the online safety has to be deeper than what we're doing. I think that it's important that we educate our children. We create a safe space for them to have conversation. We teach them about boundaries and also the ills of technology. Because all that glitters is not gold. Especially for these young children, they're just seeing the glitters, right? They're not seeing the back end story. So if somebody's asking, and also for girls, I think it's very important that fathers actually take time to build their daughters. Exactly, because most girls' first love is their father.
Yeah.
So once you are confident in who you are with your father, and you see you are affirmed by your father, there's no way that somebody will ask you to send nudes to them that you would fall prey. Most girls that fall prey to such are seeking for love, they're seeking for attention. But where in a home you have that attention, you have that love, you have that covering, it's very, very rare to see you fall for that. So as long as the home system is well structured and knitted, and the girls are guided, even the boys, right? So I mean, boys can also fall victim of such things. So education, safe space to have conversation, online safety, and most of all, I think an atmosphere where people can come, because it can happen to the best of us. But when a child knows that, in our days, if they say if you get pregnant, it's almost like just disappear. Don't even bother coming home. That was our parents. Do you understand? But that's gone with the wind.
Yeah.
If your child understands that no matter what I do, yes, they will scold me, but they will still love me through the process. I can go home. When they start to victimize them online, they're able to come and have such conversation. They're able to own up to say, "Mommy, I've goofed, but I need you to help me. This is my problem. This is the problem I have." Because once there's no opportunity for them to be able to share at home, they'll go to their friend who would give the wrong advice.
Yeah, definitely.
So everything again comes back
to the home
environment. How are we ensuring that our home is a safe space for our children to thrive and grow?
without being scared?
Exactly.
Thank you, Ma. Mrs. Ginika.
I don't think I have anything to add to what she said, because to me, that's the sum of it. Having a safe space, because most of all those people thrive on lonely people, and loneliness has different levels. So they know their prey. Because when they start and they hit those points, the ones that have the safe space at home know when to run. So they can't get those ones. So it's really the red flags. Yeah, it's really about the safety at home. It starts from there, knowing that they wouldn't be judged, they wouldn't be shamed when they share such things. And it starts from the foundation, from when they were small, creating that space, because you're not waiting to create that space when they're older. It's how you've always been, how the home has been run for all those years, them knowing that they are accepted no matter what. So, because all this influence comes in different forms. So we're talking about the online. In our own time, it was the kidnappers, the ones that will give you money, and
you follow them,
or you go to supermarket, somebody's chasing, and all those kind of things. So it has always come in different forms. So, but it's that safe space, knowing that when you come, your parents will not shout at you, "Oh, you did this. I told you not to go out and buy that sweet, and you went." Then they will now show you. But knowing that whatever challenges you have, you'll be corrected, but corrected in love, and knowing that you are protected. So and then educating, because when they know that these are my boundaries, these are things that we don't do, our value system, we don't do this is wrong, and like this is who you're working towards to be tomorrow. You can't be found doing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think what I got from that is that the society will never be fully safe.
never.
We just have to have our own shield.
Different schemes. It comes in different forms.
Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, so this is the final question. It's your final message to those who have you in, the parents, the educators watching this, people who have kids around them and are really hoping to do better, to create the safe space you've been talking about that helps create a safer internet use for these kids. What's your final message to them?
My message to parents, any child giver, is time. Our children need time, and in life there are seasons. So parenting childcare, it's not easy. It's not just something you step into because you became a parent. You need to really invest in it. You need to learn. You need to be open to learn. You need to be open to relearn, because most times you might be like, I've always known this, my parents did it and they achieved it. My neighbor, what's the big deal? As in, it's not just have my children and follow the flow. You really need to be ready to learn, adapt to the new world system. You can't say AI is bad, technology is bad, it's not happening in our house. You need to understand it so you can actually understand them from their own level. So I think the summary for me is actually learning and being able to guide them from that point. And as she has always been emphasizing, that safe space. Because when you learn, you also understand how they view things, how they understand things, and you will make a better team. Yeah, you will be able to bond with them and understand their language.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ma. Mrs. Funke.
All right, my final thought to parents and educators would be that AI is a good tool. However, you must give the environment that will allow your child not to take it on as a way of life, more as a tool that enhances,
Productivity.
Exactly. So character development, responsibility, the key values must be instilled in that child. But AI is not all that bad.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you, Mrs. Ginika. Thank you, Mrs. Funke. This has been an amazing ride. I feel like a roller coaster, but we are down now. Thank you for honoring our invite once again. We really hope to have you back here. Thank you to the viewers for watching till now. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's a good conversation.
Thank you so much.
Thank a lot from her, and it's been a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
As
Thank
a way
you.
of wrapping up, actually, I just want to commend your husband for taking time to learn the gaming with the children, because it's a good bonding time. So he
Yeah.
found something that connects them, right? And that's what parents should do. When kids have an interest, take time to
learn.
learn it and bond over it. That way, they're able to take your advice and your instructions better. They don't see you more like a dictator, but they see you
Yeah.
as a partner.
The middle
Because the last World Education Day, the theme was youth as co-creators in education. And honestly, I was telling my staff that the world has left teachers teaching children. Children have a lot more information than we do. So when we co-create, we collaborate, we become better team. So we find a common ground as parents with our children. If your child likes to cook, get into the kitchen. If your child likes to garden, do it together. Exactly. So that over bonding, you get to know them more. And their guards are down. You get to hear. Yes.
Yeah, their
And then
guards
you
are
can,
down.
yes, and you just correct them in a way that they will be receptive to it. So thanks for sharing that part of your
Thank
family.
you. I actually learned a lot that I definitely will be applied when it's time. Thank you so much, Ra. Thank you. It's been a wonderful conversation with these amazing women, and I'm really glad I got to have this conversation with them. I really hope this conversation has enlightened you. I hope you've gotten insight on how to deal with your child in relation to the internet today. And I hope that you get to share this conversation with everyone around you who needs to hear this and help us spread the word and make the internet safer for our kids in this generation that is evolving with technology alongside. Thank you.